Now, the Strun Wraith has been my go-to primary weapon for the longest time in Warframe. I enjoy everything about it, right? The reload animation, the damage output, the firing sounds, and of course the visuals. High crit and status build was my setup for my favourite weapon. It's not the fastest firing weapon, and it's not got the huge damage output that some of our other primaries or even secondaries or even melee weapons have, but it's always just clicked with me. So it's not perfect, but it's my kind of weapon, right? You're a good little boy and Mammy loves you, that's all that matters. That doesn't mean I'm going to sing nothing but praise for it in this video. Some things still could be tweaked to make it the perfect weapon for my playstyle, like the reload mechanic itself. You spend a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time, reloading all of the Strun variants in Warframe. When the Strun Prime was announced, though, I won't lie, I got excited. I went outside, fought the Badger, required medical attention, eventually an ice bath, but it was worth it. And now that I've managed to play around with the Strun Prime, put a few form on it, and see the stat differences, I can easily see it becoming my most used weapon, overtaking the current one, which is the Strun Wraith. These are the relics needed to get your hands on the Strun Prime. Now, the Strun Prime is a buff in almost every department to the Strun Wraith. The only negative is that the status chance per pellet is lower, but still works out at about 80% status per shot if all of those, pellets hit. It hits harder, damage fall off is further away, higher crit stats, larger magazine, faster fire rate, faster reload. It deals mainly impact damage, which is nice for staggers, but it also deals a nice chunk of slash damage more than what the Strun Wraith does, so it is better in, like I said, almost every department. So it's more crit, whereas the Wraith is more status. With the right mod setup and the right abilities being spread around, this can and will one-shot steel path enemies with little trouble, but there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of reloading in between. It's not going to clear a room as quick as a few of our best go-to weapons right now in game, but it will put some work in. In Steel Path especially, you will be overwhelmed pretty quick while using it, which leads to, well, if you're running solo that is, which will lead to you firing shots mid-reload in order to keep on top of the huge amounts of enemies that spawn in that are trying to kill you. You won't necessarily expect to go long endurance with this weapon and to be as effective as other weapons in game right now, but in normal content, which is somewhere around 80%, I think someone said, of our player base do that more so than the endurance stuff, it is an absolute monster. Now, this is my build for the footage. 4 Former, built for viral and heat. Critical deceleration, of course, for the huge crit boost. Galvanized, Hell and Savvy for their buffs once you get kills. For the Excellus slot, I have Galvanized Acceleration. Even though this is a hit scan weapon and not a projectile weapon, it will still increase the weapon's damage fall off up to 67 meters, so I'll still have a decent amount of damage output up to that point, not counting the additional buff I will also get from that mod once I keep killing. So I've chosen it over some of the other Excellus mods. And the Arcane, of course, is primary Merciless for the constant damage buff once I keep killing enemies. Now, having a Warframe spreading status effects around to bump up the damage output with the help of those galvanized mods will just amplify the fun that you will have with this weapon. Now, let me know what you think of the Strun Prime, if and when you get it, in the comment section below. Have a great day, and as always, thanks for watching.